There's a moment in your bones when the fire takes over. Blood is running, heart is pumping as the battle gets closer. They can say what they want now, 'cause we'll be screaming out, we can be heroes everywhere we go. We can have all that we ever want. Swinging like Ali, rocking our bodies, standing on top like a champion. Keep your silver, give me that gold. You'll remember when I say we can be heroes everywhere we go. Keeping us down is impossible. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable. We're unstoppable.
How different was my reaction from the veterans? I was really happy. Like, I don't know how you can put it in words, but like I was actually really nervous last night, so I couldn't sleep, and I'm actually happy that it's already over. The nerves actually showed during the games, but hopefully as I gain more experience and I become more comfortable with my team, I'll perform better. The veterans were also very happy. Like Neep actually has more wins now this split than when he was on XHG, so he's actually really happy about that. He just doesn't show it. And you know, Rebenga's back, so I feel like it's gonna be a very promising split. Going against AEX, it's going to be interesting because Carl used to be their former mid laner. So and Carl is actually in contact with one of the team members. So I wonder if there's gonna be some interesting mind games.
Magandang gabi sa inyo mga summoners! Ako ba si Vulcan? Kasama ko si Chisto. Kami ang magiging shoutcasters nyo pupuntang match 2 ng Game 1.
Okay, so sobrang excited ako.
Did that catch you off guard?
Yes, it did. Pero inaabangan ko talaga every time I match yung Naga because they're very interesting personalities, I should say. And whenever they have a match, I'm very excited to see how they pick and ban because out of all these teams, I think Naga is one of the best when it comes to formulating a game plan and going into picking and ban with that game plan, and then execution medyo question mark pa because as we did see during week 1, there still could be mistakes made and they almost gave Barcy a chance back in that game. But if you're AEX right now, syempre iniisip mo, we still haven't picked up a win, we're gonna want to build momentum, we are former champions. Pero Naga, they're the only undefeated team left, and I really think that they want to keep that status.
And not just that, it's also the fact that AEX will be the only team without a win. If you put it that way, Naga the first team. Yes, we're looking at the standings here. The only team without a loss, whereas for AEX, the only team without a win. So will AEX, the 2016 Summer Split champions, will they fight back against Naga? We'll see in this Game 1 because when it comes to AEX, I think this team has lost so many talents. I mean, last split was Murmu and then Vanguard leaving the team. And now, again, Calculated, the mid lane of AEX, is on Naga's side. So this is difficult for AEX because not just the fact that Calculated is the better mid laner when you're looking at away gate against Carl, but when you think of it as a strategic point of view, it's like Calculated being the X team, they know the brains inside AEX.
Yeah, and I like that you mentioned strategy, Vulcan, because like I mentioned earlier, Naga, one of the best teams when it comes to formulating a strategy, one of the best pick and bans I've seen in the pro gaming series. So I'm very interested to see how AEX will approach this.
And we'll see all this pan out once we get to the drafting phase. And as Chisto said, saying that Naga has what it takes to prepare for a game, execution is questionable. We'll see how much did Naga prepared moving on to the drafting phase.
Yeah, but of course, like we mentioned, AEX still no wins. Naga, they have a chance to secure the #1 spot moving into week 3 if they go 2-0. So a lot on the line for both of these teams. If you're AEX, you don't want to be the only team heading into week 3 without a win. Even if you pick up 1 win, at least that's a good point for your team. It's a learning experience where you know you can still pick up those points.
It's not just a learning experience, it's also the fact that, hey, we can pick up the win. This actually is more than a point. This can actually at least slightly boost the confidence of the players, because when you're entering the PGS, it's all about mindset. How you're able to deal with pressure, because you can have the best mid laners, you can have the best challengers in one team, but if they don't work as a team and if they succumb to pressure, that is the testing grounds to see if you have what it takes to become a pro player, because the nerves will set in.
Like you mentioned, confidence very important for a pro team. You can't be on stage and be playing nervous because you'll be shaking, and how will you perform? How will you click properly on your mouse if your hands like shaking like that? It's gonna be very, very hard for you.
So when it comes to nerves, do you think, as Iko said in the interview, iconic, the LCL champion for the 2017, let's see how he can handle his nerves. He did say that the nerves did settle in once he was in the game. So Iko, being the rookie entering the PGS, can he perform? He has a lot to prove to say that, hey, I belong here. I belong in one of the top 8 teams in the Philippines.
Yeah, and I think one of the factors that would really set in when it comes to you being nervous in game is, once nandun ka na sa game, you're comfortable. You're used to playing League of Legends every day. Sanay na sanay ka na eh. Pero it all comes down to once you are in the game. But another rundown of the lineups, like we mentioned earlier.
Sanay na sanay, huh?
Yeah, sanay na sanay. Like we mentioned earlier, Calculated used to be on Acclaim Empire X. Now he's on the opposite side of the rift. He's now playing mid lane for Naga Esports, whereas AEX, they've stuck to the core of their roster, and one of the highlight players, Tamsu, GPL All-Star, representing the Philippines.
He did perform really well. It was actually a surprise that how well the All-Star the Philippines performed, because felt like it was more of a dream team. It was the tagline, your dream team. Make your team, make the dream come true. But moving on to the drafting phase of Naga Esports on the blue side versus AEX on the red side.
Yeah, they're gonna try to make a dream team comp here. And like we mentioned earlier, Naga, one of the scariest pick and ban phases, and they've already denied Vladimir and Tom Kench.
Yes, this is one of the picks that has been showing, actually overperforming the Vladimir of Kaigo in the highlights, not to mention the Unsealed Spellbook being the untouched keystone when it comes to that Nerf Hammer. So let's see how Naga Esports will open up their pick. This is them on the blue side. They have priority. Oh my god, Chisto, I think we're seeing a lot of priority on this Kog'Maw. Why is that?
Actually, I think Kog'Maw, after the 8.2 changes, I think Kog'Maw is one of the strongest AD carries in the current meta. Once you get your Gensu's Rage Blade, once you get your Rune on Hurricane, you're just gonna deal a lot of DPS in those fights. But speaking of 8.2 meta,
Nunu
and
Azir!
And Azir! We've talked about
We've
this.
talked about this, and Chisto is very excited. And when you're talking about Nunu's W being reward attack speed AP,
who else wants attack speed at AP?
Kog'Maw and Azir.
Yeah, and AEX, they have
Azir.
They have Azir and Nunu. This is classic AEX.
Calm down.
Yeah,
Breathe.
No. It's Nunu and Azir.
It's exciting to see how this dynamic will pan out in our first game. So let's leave it to AEX, the Iloilo Pride, the champions of the 2016 Summer Split, to show it how it is done. And for their last picks for Naga and AEX, it will be a Zoe on Naga's side and a Twitch for AEX.
And actually, I think this is classic AEX where they get these cheese strategies. It really... Cheese, just like Twitch. He loves cheese. But like we mentioned about AEX, they love picking these things that could really throw the opponent off guard. Very, very unorthodox style when it comes to approaching pick and ban. And looking at Naga now, they've picked up the Zoe. We all know what Zoe does. Battle Stars. Anti-fun Battle Stars.
And for AEX to open up their first pick would be the Ornn. Naga immediately responds to this by picking up a Shyvana and a Cho'Gath. Now, what's left is could be the support. It'll be a Leona. Actually, it's a good pickup because you're talking about the Kog'Maw. You want a lockdown, but when you're talking about the new changes to the support items, the Sightstone being removed, maybe the supports can prioritize, let's say, for the Ludo. Is it still a question? Is it still worth it to rush an Ardent Sensor despite the changes it went through over the past patches?
It definitely is. I mean, if you're gonna pair it with a Kog'Maw, of course, he's going to be able to utilize that item to its full potential. And that's really the important reason why you pick up the Ardent Sensor. And now where supports aren't locked into just buying the Sightstone instantly, it gives them more incentive, more opening, more options to rush these items.
So let's see it all unfold once we load the Rift. And again, from AEX, all the players playing from Iloilo, shout out to the players there and to the people, the fans who are watching their favorite teams in their homes, in their mobile phones, wherever you are. Root for your team, hashtag AEX win or hashtag NE win.
Yeah, definitely let us know in the comments wherever you're watching who you're rooting for, because I'm sure both of these teams will be very happy to see who is supporting them.
And also for AEX, they have a lot to prove to us that, hey, we came in like a storm and now we're settling down. What is happening to the AEX that came in the 2016 summer split, and now they want to reemerge, show us, everyone, that we're not yet out of the game. This is a new format, new patch, everything runes reforged. This could be a turning point for many players. Can they fit into the meta? Can they adjust to it?
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see as we load soon into the Rift. We'll be getting into game very, very quickly, but like you mentioned, once you're in game, all the nerves will go away. It's just you, League of Legends, and competition.
Let's see those fingers, those tense atmosphere, how it will play, because rookie Iconic being the first, I think this is his first ever PGS run, correct?
It is.
It is.
That's why he's a rookie.
That's why he's a rookie. And for Canon, somehow consistent, but this is going to be something we'll have to observe on the Rift.
Definitely. Okay, and samahan nyo kami. Will the Pride of Visayas AEX pick up their first win, or will Naga Esports remain the only undefeated team in the Pro Gaming Series? Let's find out right now.
Hashtag unfinished business and hashtag Iloilo Pride.
Let's go.
Let's straight to the Rift. Let's see, will we see a level 1 cheese? I don't think so, because seeing how everyone is moving too fast, drifting around the Rift, somehow just guarding their entrances. So I wonder what's their game plan here, because we're seeing a Shyvana, Rebenga on Shyvana. This is actually different because Rebenga loves playing the Sejuani. There was some nerfs in Aftershock. Doesn't matter. It's the fact that Rebenga can always pressure a certain lane where he favors.
Yeah, you know, this is actually a big change in the style that we've seen Naga Esports play, because like you mentioned, Rebenga, normally makikita natin si Giovanni gamit niya, a ganking jungler, whereas Shyvana doesn't have that luxury of going for these early ganks because she relies a lot on gold, a lot on the farm, the XP she gets. So definitely a different dynamic that Naga is coming into this game with, but it is a new patch, so maybe they've adjusted to it as well.
And for Iconic running the Unsealed Spellbook, running the Ignite for kill pressure. Same with Canon, perhaps. We are seeing both of them running the Ignite. This will be interesting because I think when it comes to the Ornn rework, it was more on the adjustments on the cooldown on the ultimate. Sometimes it's kind of ridiculous how the Ornn can set up for a clash and then recast the ult after 30-second cooldown. It's a very short cooldown, so nerves on Ornn, especially his Bellows Breath, the Unstoppable, has been removed.
Yeah, and I still think Ornn is a very, very strong champion. I think one of the main factors is the cooldown on Bellows Breath was untouched, and it's a very strong ability. And if you're able to just cast it on demand, there's really not much your opponents can do. You're just going to wave clear for days. And how do you push the lane versus Ornn? You put Cho'Gath. And I think Cho'Gath can match up to the push. And is actually tanky enough to duel the Ornn in an extended fight. Cho'Gath does have Feast if he wants to go for an all-in. But it's still level 1.
True damage is there for Cho'Gath. But note that if ever the Cho'Gath does scale with HP, note that Bellows Breath deal percentage to maximum health. So in the end, Ornn and Cho'Gath matchup is fairly equal, in my opinion, except for the fact that, yes, a Cho'Gath has higher kill pressure because of the Feast.
It is fairly equal until one of the junglers decides to influence the matchup, because we've seen from Naga Esports, they decide to play around a lot top lane. I mean, Rebenga has been setting up Eco for success in week 1. So we'll just have to wait and see, will Rebenga Shyvana influence this top lane matchup? But right now, it looks like it is Canon having the earlier push.
Yes, but for the CS wise, it's not yet in anyone's favor. But it's the fact that Rebenga will have to sit back, let the lanes win their own fights, and then when the late game comes, Rebenga can just unleash his power. In a Shyvana that's heavily farmed. That's scary. We did see that on Mineski's game where Jajan on a Shyvana again.
Yeah, I mean, if you just pop off on Shyvana, it just looks like you're a big angry dragon trying to run down people.
And you just have to focus on farming. And for AEX, my question is, Zoe being anti-fun, right, Chista? But for a matchup with an Azir does have the range, has the mobility with the shifting sands. Zoe versus Azir, who wins?
It actually depends on whether or not Awaken can just dodge out the skill shots, because alam natin Zoe's anti-fun. She's not anti-fun if you know how to play against her, and the most basic thing you could do to counter the Zoe is to really just dodge her skill shots. If you don't get chunked by those paddle stars, if you don't get hit by those bubbles, you'll be fine in lane, as is.
And for a Zoe, it does have that wave clear. I mean, you can just paddle star the caster minions in the back and just clear your wave as you please. And the same goes for the Azir. But now it's more on just farming because Rebenga on a Shyvana, I think Naga Esports, when it comes to the brains of Naga, do you agree with me when I say that Rebenga could be the brains in the team?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that point, given that he has the most experience, especially in the pro scene. He's a known veteran, and he has a lot of respect in the community. They know that he's a very good player, good jungler in that sense, and I think Naga Esports, they look to him for that leadership role once you're in game.
But with that dynamic, when you're talking about putting Rebenga on a Shyvana, how does that work? Because Rebenga can't intervene just yet.
Just yet, but there's gonna come a point where he can, and I think at that point, Naga Esports is gonna have the green light and just go. We can fight now. Let's just do this. Tara na, bakbakan na.
So let's see, when it comes to the late game or the mid game, things will get exciting. For the Kog'Maw is being run here and the Lulu support. I'm really curious to see how the top lane will work out because this is fairly an even matchup because when it comes to wave clear, Ornn doesn't need items for wave clear. Cho'Gath has natural wave clear and sustain. It's more on who can, I can say, get their items first, ultimate wise.
Well, Ornn can definitely get his items first.
Obviously, because of the passive. But
Yeah,
what I'm trying to say is, who has more contribution in a team fight?
it actually depends because if you're looking at Ornn, we all know Call of the Forge God, very, very effective tool if you want to start a fight, has that massive range, massive AoE. Whereas if you're the Cho'Gath, you're more of a mid-ranged one where you need to land these ruptures, you need to be close to land your silences.
And you need your item, the Righteous Glory. You're very dependent on that item.
Yeah, whereas if you're Ornn, all you really need to do is land your abilities. It's a much simpler dynamic, I should say.
So we'll wait for that.
Yeah, we'll just have to wait for that. But right now, it's still 6 minutes into the game. Both teams have opted to play a bit more passively. But
What was that? Something just blacked out there. Igo gets knocked to the air. Oh, sees it. Fortune is coming in. Knocks out to the air. Where is the snowball? There's the snowball for the soul. Ignited there. Flash for flash. He dodges the rupture. Pops the stasis. Will he go down for the first blood? Turret's hitting him. That's Cannon surviving. But the first blood will go to Tamzu.
yeah, that stopwatch right there only delaying the inevitable. But with the jungler top lane, this is a smart response by Rebenga. I wonder if AEX have spotted him out.
They do.
Oh, they have!
It was actually telegraphed there. It will be calculated. Intervening here for members in the Cloud Drake. This is an early Drake. And if Naga Esports secures this will open up for the next Drake.
Okay, but that was a great move by Naga to respond with a top lane gank. Cross-map trade into the Cloud Drake instantly. That means they have that Elder Drake stack. If it does reach to that point.
The next Drake will be the Mountain Drake. So Naga Esports, if they have complete control of the bot lane, this can assure them onto Rebenga because Rebenga does have the passive when it comes to slaying the dragons, and this will benefit them an investment moving on to the late game.
Yeah, and I think AEX, they really didn't want the challenge. It was just a Cloud Drake, even though they knew that was there.
It's something there, so why not just take it?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
they
free.
gave it up. They got it first blood, really. So, Cloud Drake, you're gonna move faster. You can still chase you down.
And
It's
guess
fine.
for after that first blood, we're seeing already a Cannon may go for the Abyssal Mask. He does have the Catalyst and the Negatron, the Null Magic
He
Code.
still has options.
He still has options, so we'll see there. But for Iconic, he will immediately rush that Righteous Glory. Cho'Gath is very dependent on that item.
Yeah, and especially given Naga Esports Comp relies a lot on them getting close. If they want to start a fight, they need Iconic to be able to act as a front line. Whereas if you're AEX, you have Corosso on Leona, and we all know how much engaged Leona provides to a team. She just Solar Flare from that range and then instantly chain CC you, and the follow-up as well. They have Orin, they have Azir, so many options just to go in and try and demolish Naga. So if you're AEX right now, you got first blood, let's build on this momentum, let's pick up our first win, but it's still a matter of executing on that.
But when you're talking about lead, yes, AEX has it, but Chista, I think you were very excited when it was in the drafting phase itself, seeing the Nunu and the Azir in one full rotation.
Because it's Nunu and Azir. Like we mentioned, nung pick and ban, 8.2 change Nunu. Now his Blood Ball gives AP to himself and the target, and the attack speed is better as well. So, who wants attack speed and AP? Who else but Azir, the Emperor of Shurima?
And we can see that Awaken is running the precision tree.
It just works so well, Vulcan.
Of course it works so well. He may have the alacrity plus the extra. Wait, it has been moved down. I mean, if you're mixing your keystone, the pathing, you do get bonuses from both. Small attack speed, small ability power.
I've been wanting to try this strat since I saw the patch notes. It's actually a very good strat. It's just, finally, we get to see it in a competitive game.
And finally, we see it. AEX, the ones using this, the ex-champions in the 2016 Summer Split, but now they have a lot to prove to us that they're still one of the consistent. Oh wait, that's not the right word, because for AEX they have been falling down.
I think the word you're looking for is one of the contenders.
Yes, there we go.
Because generally in the pro gaming series, we've seen like a clear top 4 in the past where it was.
Oh, here comes the gang. Forge God
Hold
coming in. That will be a dive. Ooh, Forge God could not be recasted because why could he not cast the Forge God? The Cho'Gath silence. Don't forget the silence, but still, they will be going for the tower dive.
Yeah, but Rebenga is here. He is angry. He's trying to respond, but
Kenny, though, he's on a Shyvana.
I really like the gank setup here because Ornn has a lot of CC. And it's very hard to run away as a Cho'Gath. You don't have dashes. I mean, you're Cho'Gath. You don't have dashes.
But it was still smart for... Yes, it was
very hard to run.
Very hard to run, but it was still smart of Iconic to silence the Ornn so that he cannot recast the Forge God.
Yeah, it just shows you kung gaano kagaling si Iconic as a player. It just shows you his understanding of the champion. He knows what AEX has to do. And he tried to outplay there, but unfortunately for him, AEX just executed better and they were able to pick up the second kill onto the Nunu.
0-2 right now, 2-0 for the Nunu. Level advantage is on to the Ornn for now, but Tamsu, I was actually looking for the level advantage when it comes to the smite, but we're talking about a Nunu with a consume. So
it's unfair.
It's unfair.
That's why it's so
I think that's why it's so powerful when it comes to the Azir being paired with the Nunu. Not just that you get that ridiculous attack speed and ability power.
Oh man, we haven't even seen it yet. It's just 11 minutes into the game.
I'm actually excited to see how things do pan out when we do see it. So I think for the viewers out there, stay tuned for that because when we do see it, it's gonna be satisfying. But for Naga Esports, again, they know how to try and come back from a loss. We did see from the gank in the top lane, they got the Cloud Drake, and now for NE, they taken away the Rift Herald.
Yeah, and that just shows you how good of a player Rebenga is, especially as a shot caller as well. He knows that even though Iconic is behind, they can still go for these objectives because you have the Cho'Gath to secure it. Shyvana, very fast jungler in a sense where you can clear camps instantly because look at the CS difference. Given that Tamsu has been giving up his time and ganking more, it allows Rebenga to farm even more and just get all that experience, and it really helps him get more of his items, which, of course, like we mentioned before, kailangan ni Shyvana ng gold, kailangan niya ng XP, and hawak ni Rebenga yung mga yun right now. It's just a question of, kaya ba niyang gamitin yung hawak niya?
But can AEX try and counter this Shyvana? Because when a Shyvana is that much ahead in terms of gold, you can't do much because you can't stop the gold from going to the champions. It's impossible because you get gold over time. So what is the remedy for AEX to do to try and counter this Shyvana? I mean, Azir has the
actually, there's one game to stop the. There's one way to stop the gold from coming into the champions.
Oh, what is it?
You destroy the Nexus and end the game. Ah,
My God.
you didn't expect that.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but I was expecting more, something.
Something smarter.
No, something that we can use in the early phases of the game. Because, yeah, malamang, if you take the Nexus down, wala na gold, tapos na ang laro.
Exactly, but you were asking me. You didn't specify what methods.
Yeah, but let's see those methods, though, to try and counter the lead that AEX has. Naga Esports still in the money to win this game. But for AEX, they have taken away the Mountain Drake uncontested. So, the Cloud Drake versus the Mountain. Next Drake will be the Ocean Drake.
Okay, and it looks like AX have been able to secure the Mountain Drake. So what that means is now they can take down towers even faster, Baron even faster, and Rebecca is in a bit of trouble.
He didn't bait. Teleport is coming through. There is the absolute zero, and the force ward coming in. Rebecca does flash away from it. That's a charge in, but the stasis will deny that knockup. Here comes Awaken. With that as here, Blood Boy is in effect here, and Awaken takes down Rebecca. Iconic gets the ult. There's the solar flare. Iconic does flash away, but Cannon goes in with a flash and takes him down. Rupture for the two-man knockup. Re-engage gets denied by the stasis. The Zenith Blade will not go through.
And this is what we said about AX. Ang dami nilang options para mag-engage. Sobrang dami nilang crowd control, and just like that, winasak nila yung Naga Esports.
That clash itself was the response from AX with a Blood Bowl on the Azir. We're finally seeing how it works. And I gotta say, the Absolute Zero was there. Didn't do too much.
Oh, Luxuria!
Luxuria going on to... Can he run away though? He does have the flash, the Zenith Blade again. You gotta watch out for that yellow shiny blade.
Or in this case, it's an umbrella.
Jesus.
Whoa, okay, so like we mentioned, AEX have all of these tools to go for engages. Kung kayo yung Naga ngayon, iniisip nyo, kailangan nating pigilan to. Kailangan natin mag-stall. Kailangan natin ipascale yung Kog'Maw natin. Kailangan niya ng items para malabanan natin sila. But, I don't think AEX will give them that opportunity kasi alam ng AEX, lamang na kami. Kaya naming mag-engage dito pa ulit-ulit. So, we're gonna use that to our advantage. We're just gonna keep going for these fights.
Awaken has the red and blue, but Emperor's Divide is there. Does knock Rebecca away. Sleepy Bubble Trouble will not daze Awaken. He does manage to escape with his summoners. He does have to cleanse. And the Rift Herald has to spawn in the mid lane. Note that the first turret has not yet been secured by any team. This is Naga Esports going for the more objective play. Now trying to get this first turret, but AEX responds to this. 4 members already converging in. Forge God is available to be used, but they will show some restraint.
Okay, I think with 5 members in the mid lane, kayang i-defend ng AEX yung tower na yun. Pero looking at that little skirmish, mukhang nag-energy drink si Awaken kasi gising na gising siya. Hindi siya napatulog ni Calculated at all. So he was able to get out, but he did burn his flash and his ultimate as well. So that's very, very critical on this Azir.
Nagbakas siya.
Yeah, maybe he did.
That's why. So, for Awaken to be on edge on his sharp mind, this is going to be AEX starting things out strong. But for Naga Esports, things are not yet done just yet. Remember, this is Rebecca we're talking about. Rebecca is back. He's on a Shyvana. And you have to respect a Shyvana with that gold. But when you're talking about that much disruption coming in, looks like Kurosu may commit to this. No summer strains there. Bottom in the top lane, Rebecca does intervene and trying to help out Iconic and his top lane. Cannon is on flinch, will still stand his ground and chase the 2 members of Naga Esports away.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, Rebecca, he's gonna be the key factor here because he's got a lot of farm on the Shyvana. He got that experience, he got all that gold. It's just a matter of how Rebecca can use this to help the rest of Naga because right now, AEX
Teleport is channeling through. Cannon will join in the fight. First turret is at stake here and the teleport has been cancelled. Just to bait it out, it was used defensively. But can they make it out alive here? They will. Looks like Rebecca is spotted in the bottom lane. The Ocean Drake will be alive in 1 minute and 46 seconds.
mag-high kaya si Jen.
It's a bit snaky, but I don't think he's gonna go for it for
Ayaw niya
something so risky. But Awaken, shifting sands away. Close call there, did not get hit by the Petal Star.
Yeah, and looking at this draft from Naga Esports, there's a clear lack of engage or tools to start a fight, like a full-on team fight.
But it's more on there going for at least they have the DPS. The Kong Mao is there. It's more of a, I think, a cleanup type of comp because we're seeing a
the
Shyvana.
only reason, the only way, not reason, the only way you can stop these sieges from happening is if you push them away with a sort of engage or try to scare them off. But given that Naga has a lack of that upfront hard CC that's very easy to land, they can't stop the push from AEX because they're respecting the ability of AEX to just jump on them and absolutely destroy them with all of their damage.
And this is the, I think, good point of picking up Ornn because Ornn has everything that you just described. Disengage, engage, he has the Forge God. And I think this puts Iconic in a really bad spot because he's forced to itemize something that cannot battle against an Ornn properly. You need some MR to battle out that Bellows Breath because Iconic, he needs to rush that Righteous Glory. Cho'Gath is very dependent on that item.
Call of the Forge God!
Here it comes. Solar Flare is there. Rebenga trying to stand his ground. Calculated, perceives that health boost. That will be a disengage. So, that's a lot of resources burned. So, no more Lulu ult. And this is actually a good call for Genvi because, oh well, God, he does get the burst. He will survive Awaken. Does he have the ultimate? Yes, he does. He does have the shifting stance to set things up. Solar Flare was used kanina. Tapos si Kano, he did use his ultimate. What's AEX doing here? Let's see.
They're chunking out luxury. They're trying to force Naga to back off because tignan mo, trinay nila mag-engage kay Calculated.
Ocean Drake.
Pero nabuhos lahat ng defensive options ng Naga. Nag-ulti yung Lulu. Nag-TP sa Iconic.
Awaken with the Emperor's Divide. Forces out a flash. It's time for Jambe to say hello in the mid lane. Here comes AEX running them down. That will be the Sleepy Trouble Bubble onto Cannon. Ultimate will be off for Cannon in just a while. Forge God will be available. It will be Rebenga forcing things out here. Absolute Zero is there. Immediately chunks down Neat. Kurosu takes the kill. Stasis will buy them some time. It's a matter of fact where AEX will now clean up the fight.
Yeah, and I think that is a triple kill.
Yan na yung promo natin.
Ayan na nga, and just like that, Genvi with the triple kill. They will take a
snipe! Close call.
Okay. But kahit na close call yon, yung tower ng Naga sa mid, hindi close call. Basag na yung tower. That is gone.
That's gone there, and the turret score will now be going to a 0-3. AEX, I gotta say, stepping it up in the 2018 Bacchus Pro
Gusto
Games.
nila yung first win. They want that first win.
I mean, they're the only teams right now in the standings without a win. You don't want that to happen. This is AEX showing that we are the pride of the Visayas teams all playing in one room. I think their comms right now is on point because it's just my opinion. Because during the last year of the split, it was Murmu and Vanguard, correct?
Look at this fight right here.
Replay first.
This is very forced by Naga Esports. They tried to instantly go for Awaken, but Awaken was able to put down the tower. The passive from Azir does so much work here. And Genvi so aggressive, he's able to clean up and get a triple kill in this team fight. And I really think this was Naga forcing the issue. I did mention the lack of reliable engage. Shyvana jumping into your face is not reliable engage, and right there, they get punished for it.
Here comes Rebenga again, jumping into the face, pops the stasis, enough time for AEX to dive them out. Here comes Rebenga, ooh, he's huge. Solar Flare is there for the stun, Absolute Zero, ooh! Wait for Luxury to buy some time for himself, he will be surviving, but that will be a setup for Cannon with that Forge God.
Yeah, and can they get more here? I think the reward for that one skirmish.
Non-stop anytime. Cannon will not care anymore. Forces out Calculated to get out that flash. Will not escape. Genvi on a rampage. And now Awaken goes for the flank.
Yeah, and 4 kills onto the side of AEX. Can they go for the Baron here? I think they're headed towards the Baron. They have Nunu, they have Consume, they have Smite. I think they got this.
This is going to be a free Baron. Death timers are too huge. And a steal will be too risky. But going back to what I was saying about, let's say, AEX. This time, all of their teams are they all playing in the same room right now?
Yes.
It's very different when you're talking about, let's say, split players playing from different regions because this is AEX.
And look at this. They almost got Genvi, but League of Stopwatch. Very surprising. The TP comes in at just the right time and all of the focus immediately went to Luxuria. Unfortunately, he doesn't have the same luck as Genvi.
And look at Genvi. He has the red buff. Is waiting for him to rejuvenate his health. and that's going to be a cleanup. Sets everything up for Cannon, and
Yeah, and if you walk close to AEX's lineup, there's so much crowd control.
And
You're
that's-
just not gonna run away.
Nunu Azir at the works here. Everyone,
New Hazir.
Nunu Azir.
Yeah, and
Nuzir.
Baron on AEX, 23 minutes into the game. Naga Esports questions are being asked. How can you defend versus AEX?
Oh my god, close call. Will the poison do the trick here? No, it won't be enough. It was just the third stack. Oh, that's a lot of damage chunked onto Kurosu. They're knocking on the
no.
door. Oh, that's not enough shifting sands though. He does manage to dodge that star. The pedal star.
It was
And
just out of range.
very close too. I mean,
Look at this.
Muntik na.
Muntik na.
Oh, what's this?
Besieging the tower.
They have the Baron buff, so for Naga Esports, they can't do anything here. They'll be forced to just let them take away everything.
Well, they can do something. They can watch the tower go down. That's clearly what happened.
yeah, they did.
Yeah, but if you're AX right now, our mid laner is fairly chunked. Awaken has to be a bit careful. He can still die from a stray paddle star.
Yeah, and also for Naga Esports, yes, they can watch their towers go by, but they can also start, let's say, thinking what they can do, right? So they can think about how can they try and come back to this game. What's the goal, Lychee?
I mean, if you're Naga right now, they know they don't have that reliable tool for engage, but they can go for pickoffs in the jungle. Zoe's Trouble Bubble has extended range over walls, so if they're able to catch out a member of AEX that's out of position, possibly make it a 4v5 before AEX is given a chance to full-on engage, that will be Naga's window to come back. They need to look for picks, but not full-on 5v5.
So at this point, they have to try and pick off, and they don't have a reliable engage. So it's a matter of time.
They need to go for picks, definitely.
They
but
need to stop this bleeding.
the way that AEX is playing, they're all grouped up very close to each other. If somebody gets caught, everyone can instantly come in to try and help that member if it does happen.
Okay. Forge God. Flare, miss, everything misses. AX just zoning out Naga Esports. Iconic can re-engage. Absolute Zero is there. Close call there, but still a shutdown for Rebenga. Looks like Jambi is unstoppable. Is now inside the base. Luxuria on this Cogmouth. There's the shifting stance. There's the Azir from Awaken. But the sleep will immediately force Genvi to back off. Close call for Genvi there.
That was very, very close. Bike card.
Close
Just
margins.
one more hit. And now with that inhibitor take, with Gen V being chunked, I think AX, they have to respect Naga's ability to chase them down here. They need to run
Oh,
away.
but-
They need to disengage.
That is some ridiculous range. Rupture will miss. That would be AEX running for the hills. Awaken cannot commit to any more fights here. There is the Blast Cone, leaving behind who? Kurosu, and setting up for Eco's two-man knockoff. That's going to be Janvi just seeing, just trying to decide, can I help my support or should I leave him and survive on his own? Because at this point, it's going to be Naga Esports picking off members of AX. This is what Chisto was talking about.
Yeah, and they're gonna play cleanup right here. They need to be very
Oh,
careful.
look at Karkalit. He's mad. He wants some revenge.
Yeah, he definitely wants a bit of revenge on his former teammates. But even though Naga Esports were able to force them back, pick up these kills, they weren't able to translate it into any turrets yet. And I think the consolation prize for all those kills will be a Cloud Drake. It's still being challenged by Tamsu though. He doesn't want to give it up.
He does have Consume, and it's just going to benefit Rebenga even more. So why give a small advantage? And at this point, it's kind of pointless to try and contest an epic monster with a Nunu.
Yeah, I mean,
Because of the Consume. It's kind of
and-
unfair.
maybe Rebenga watched The Walking Dead as well. He's scared of zombies. He runs away from zombie Nunu. Well, the thing with zombies, you need to shoot them in the head. But if you're a half dragon with no guns, how do you shoot something in the head?
You bite off the head.
As a half dragon, it's very... You want to bite off a zombie's head?
Yeah.
That's a very interesting way to deal with zombies, Vulcan.
I actually don't really watch The Walking Dead, so I don't understand your reference here. But when you're talking about referencing to the game itself, yes, it's a zombie Nunu skin. And the members of Naga Esports, yes, they are scared of the zombie Nunu. They're scared of Tamsu because it's like a virus. It's like Tamsu has the zombie virus and he's spreading that to who? Awaken. That's the Blood Boil.
Yeah, and right now, though, AEX, they're going to try and push the bot lane what this does mean is it's harder for Naga to defend because top lane is auto-pushing towards them because of super minions. It's a farther distance to cover if you want to go for a defense, but Naga, they're gonna have to stop the bleeding by going for an engage very, very soon.
Asleep onto Cannon. They have to wave clear so they can fend things off, but AEX, they're a veteran team. They know how to deal with this configuration. They will pressure all the lanes. The top lane will push naturally. They're just pressuring the mid and bot. Here comes Tamsu.
Very textbook stuff.
Here comes Cannon. Forge God is up. Everyone is setting it up for themselves, but for Naga, they're dispersed. They know that they cannot stick together, but that forces pressure too. Oh god, the pressure in the mid lane has worked for Awaken. Now, 2 inhibitors are down. This will be the second inhibitor at stake here. That's going to be calculated. No more ultimate. Forced to flash away. Janvi now onto him. Absolute Zero to slow the members of Naga Esports down. We're seeing Rebenga has the solar flare by Kurosu. Cancels Luxuria. Wild Growth is there, but the Iconic does finish up Kurosu. Blood Boil is in effect here. Awaken takes down Rebenga.
Yeah, and if you're Naga, you need to hold now. You need to go for these kills.
You're seeing that AEX, Cannon, and Tamsu are very low, but Tamsu can just consume a minion and
Look
heal
at Awaken.
himself. And with Awaken having the freedom to take down one Nexus turret. 2 inhibitors are down.
Difficult choices.
Naga Esports, they have to decide. They have to try and stop the bleeding, but AEX are still pressing onto NE. Could this be the last stand for Naga Esports?
It looks like AEX are unfazed by the defense.
Look at Luxuria popping up, trying to clean up the fight. It's going to be Awakened still, focusing on the turrets while Luxuria will finish up Cannon. Next could be Thompson. He does flash away. The slow will not connect. It will be Awakened, left alone in the base. Naga Esports calculated. It's trying to chase him down. He gets the sleep, cleanses it away, but it will just be the basic attack for the shutdown.
Okay, 30 minutes into the game, Naga Esports are able to hold on for dear life. AEX, they've left Naga's base in shambles. It's just one Nexus Tower remaining. And now if you're Naga, the next big objective you're looking at is Baron. Because if AEX takes this, the game is practically over.
The Baron is at stake here. And Naga Esports, they know this. They cannot give up this Baron. Either way, if they don't contest for it, it's going to be a lost game. Solar Flare on to Luxuria. Absolute Zero does get cancelled out. Kurosu doing his job, just zoning out Luxuria, and now Rebecca joins him. But that's going to leave Iconic alone to fend for himself. The Feast will just chunk Janvi for a while. Kurosu manages to teleport in time to finish up the fight with a Forge God. And now 2 members of Naga Esports are very low. Could this be the 3rd kill? There no. Rebenga with the triumph will sustain himself, will survive, and the Baron will take down Janvi. Neve does not want to give up this Baron. This is the last stand for Naga Esports. Redemption is there for the hill. Polymorph and all the CC they can throw at Kurosu to try and deny this Baron. The inhibitor in the top lane just respawn for Naga. This will be them still healthy enough to try and contest this Baron. Look at the words though. So words everywhere. But again, for Naga Esports starting this Baron, this cannot happen for Naga. They are forced to give away the Baron buff to AEX.
Okay, is that the final nail in the coffin for this first game? AEX were able to hold on long enough to delay Naga, and the minions all pouring into Naga's base. Kailangan nila mag-back. They had to defend all of those minions or else they would have lost inhibitors. And with Awaken respawning in time, having an Azir, having that Mountain Drake as well, kayang-kayang pabagsakin ng AEX yung Baron, and sobrang bilis. Now, they are going to reset. They're gonna start sieging again. And if you're Naga, kailangan natin mag-defend.
Against Naga Esports can still win this game. They have the Kog'Maw. We saw how much damage it can deal. So for AEX, they cannot be too complacent just yet.
They can.
They have the Baron buff. Yes, they have the Nunu and Azir. But can they close this game before Naga Esports do find a footing and come back with their, let's say, late skating cup? They have the Kog'Maw, they have the Shyvana, but Janvi and Awaken ready.
He wants to say hello. One hello could change your life.
First impressions matter, but that's going to be Janvi still in stealth mode. Forge God, it will not happen here. Knock up onto Neve. Solar Fair will just grant the slow. Righteous Glory has been popped. Rupture only on to Kurosu. Rebenga looking for the flank here with
4v5.
the Dragon form. That's another pickup against onto Kurosu. He could not escape. No flash, no ignite, but at least Naga Esports still showing us that they will not give up and will stand their ground.
Okay, nag-trade sila doon. Support ng AEX si Kurosu for that inhibitor. I wonder, will AEX do the safe move and move towards the top lane, take that final inhibitor, force Naga to defend versus 3 inhibitors down? That will mean 2 super minions in every lane. And the Baron buff as well, still on AEX. They have time to work with. And Naga, they've stalled pretty well here. They can still defend. They've shown that the Kog'Maw can deal a lot of damage if he's left alone.
Oh, look at that. Kind of an interesting itemization onto this Ornn here. Gets the Righteous, gets the Gauntlet. But now, the Redemption. I wonder if they will be upgrading towards the Mastercraft's work soon, because they're almost at 6 items and they can afford the last minute upgrade onto their items of their choosing. So, Jisto, I think this could be a stand for Naga. Again, we are seeing teleport. No, actually, cannon has been switched to the exhaust for the Kog'Maw. 1, 2, 3 members of AEX.
Like I said, they're gonna go for the 3rd and final inhibitor. Naga has to fight here. They need to defend.
Watch out for Luxuria. That's something you need to observe.
Here
God.
we go.
Where's the setup? Zones out iconic. Now at this point, AEX, they're just going for the inhibitors. They know that full-on fights will not be in their favor. Kamsu cannot be caught here. Rebenga, again, trying his best to zone out the members of AEX. Looking for that right flank. Cannon gets the Drowsy. All the CC they're dishing at Cannon. He can take it. They're just focusing on the inhibitors right now.
I think Iconic wants to.
Pops the Glory. Will not have they don't have reliable engage. Solar Flare misses that stun. Redemption is gonna be there. They will heal and gonna be engaging soon. Genvi on stealth. Calculated backing off with Iconic. Kamsu leading the charge with the zombie Nunu. They're near each other, so let's see. Cannon.
Naga has to fight now. They need to defend.
They know that they cannot win a clash, so AEX will just let the minions do the work. Genvi just need to hit the turret once, and that's going to be a turret down. Looks like the super minions are doing the works here. Calculate, this is the Nexus exposed. Last stand for Naga Esports. That's the cancel for the Absolute Zero. Calculated takes on members of AEX. That's going to be the 4th shot coming in. Awaken takes down Iconic. Awaken and Blinking Red. He gets taken down by Luxuria. But I think 3 members staff on the guy with Luxuria, Blinking Red. This is going to be AEX securing the first game.
Yeah, this is still a best of 3. So AX, they need to either win one more game to secure those juicy points, or if you're Naga, you need to win 2 games straight if you want to come back. But AEX, it looks like they've found their stride. Nahanap na nila yung momentum nila and they've picked up their first win. And with Naga losing that game, there are no more undefeated teams in the Pro Gaming Series.
So congratulations to AEX for winning the first game. Again, showing us that they are the contenders, as we said, to be one of the champions. Perhaps, who knows, it's still early. But for Naga Esports, still, they have a lot of preparation ready. This is not going to face them. They can still try and bounce back in the second game.
Yeah, but we will head into that second game after a short break. Abangan nyo yun. We have been your shoutcasters. My name is Chisto. Kasama ko si Opa Vulcan. We'll be right back.
There's the Absolute Zero and the 4th shot coming in. Rebecca does flash away from it. That's a charge in, but the Stasis will deny that knockup. Here comes Awaken with that as here. Blood Boy is in effect here, and Awaken takes down Rabenga. Iconic gets the ult. There's the Solar Flare. Iconic does flash away, but Cannon goes in with a flash. It takes him down. Rupture for the 2-man knockup. Re-engage gets denied by the Stasis. The Zenith Blade will not go through.
And this is
available. It will be Rebenga forcing things out here. Absolute Zero is there. Immediately chunks down neat. Kurosu takes the kill. Stasis will buy them some time. It's a matter of fact where AEX will now clean up the fight.
Yeah, and I think that is a triple kill.
Yan na yung promo natin.
Ayan na nga, and just
AEX
like
to dive them out. Here comes Rebenga. Ooh, he's huge. Solar Flare is there for the stun. Absolute Zero. Oh! Wait for Luxuria to buy some time for himself. He will be surviving, but that will be a setup for Cannon with that Forge God.
Yeah, and can they get more here? I think the reward for that one skirmish.
Non-stop anytime. Canada will not care anymore. Forces out Calculated to get out that flash. Will not escape. Genvi on a rampage. And now Awaken goes for the flash.
Yeah,
For God. Flare, miss, everything misses. AEX just zoning out Naga Esports. Mannequin re-engage up to 0 is there. Close call there, but still a shutdown for Revenga. Looks like Genvi is unstoppable, is now inside the base, but Shura on this Gogmouth. There's the shifting stance, there's the Azir from Awaken. But the sleep will immediately force Genvi to back up. Close call for Genvi there. Here. Calculate, this is the Nexus exposed. Last stand for Naga Esports. That's the cancel for the Absolute Zero. Calculated takes out members of AEX. That's the force coming in. Awaken takes down Iconic. Awaken and Blinking Red. He gets taken out by Luxuria. But I think 3 members down on the count with Luxuria Blinking Red. This is going to be AEX securing the first game.
Yeah, this is still a best of 3. So AX, they need to either win one more game to secure those juicy